Off field. Left. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rockin' it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she poppin' it, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're gonna be talking about my true feelings and how I feel about both trades going down today. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. And I want to hear from you guys too. We don't have to use the phone lines just for post-game videos. I know that's the name of the show or whatever. But anytime some breaking news happen with the Washington Commanders on NFL, feel free to call that 301-818-2538 phone number. This is the perfect time to do it. So I'm eager to hear what you guys got to say. If you have anything to leave, go ahead and call the number right now. And I want to hear you guys' reaction to these trades that went down today. So let's go ahead and get to it. The Washington Commanders were busy today, making 2 trades. And if we honestly think about it, they weren't surprising at all. I'm also surprised that both of them went down. I'm not necessarily surprised that they got traded, that these players got traded specifically, but I'm more so surprised that both of them did. Like, I know I said earlier this week, I wouldn't mind trading both of them, but I was just playing around. Like, I didn't think they actually was going to do it, but they did it. So it got kicked off with Montez Sweat being traded, and then after that, it went to Chase Young. The Montez Sweat trade, I was fine with it. Second round pick for Tez is cool. I think Tez has the potential to go to Chicago and have a Preston Smith kind of leap, where he's gonna be a kind of average guy, almost almost reaching his potential here. Really high pressure guy, but not really getting home. And he's going to go there and probably have 13 sacks. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he's already at 6.5 or something like that. So it wouldn't be surprising if he finishes the season with 13.5. So second round pick for Tez is cool. And it's going to be a high second round pick because Chicago's going to be butt. You know what I'm saying? So it basically is going to be an extension of the first round if you want to look at it like that. And we can potentially fulfill 2 needs right there. I'm thinking left tackle and right tackle. I know we signed Andrew Wiley to a 3-year deal, but you can get out of that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of cap space. So I'm looking to upgrade both tackle positions, and you could probably use your first and second round pick on both tackles. And I'm talking day 1 starters, not no guys that need some time to heal or time to prepare and time to develop. I need day 1 starters, and I think you can get that out of the first and second round pick. So I was fine with the Montez Sweat trade. I thought after he got traded, I was like, okay, so either we're going to have Chase Young play out for the rest of the year, and the new regime decide if they want to sign him to a long-term deal or if they want to franchise tag him. Chase Young is at like 5 sacks already, so I'm like, all right, look, if I was in charge, I would sign Chase Young to a franchise tag if he gets to 8.5. Okay, if he gets to 13 or 12 or 11, then I'm offering him an extension. That's where I'm at. And then if he doesn't want neither one of that, he can walk, because you're going to get a compensatory pick for him. But they decided to trade him. Now, how do I feel about the trade? I personally feel like you could have got more out of the trade for Chase Young. That's why I was upset about it earlier. I wasn't more so mad that we traded Chase Young. I knew Chase Young was on the trade market, and quite frankly, he hasn't lived up to the 2nd overall pick. So I wasn't mad that we traded him. I was more so mad at the compensation we got for him. You saw what the Giants got for Leonard Williams, a 2nd and a 5th. You telling me we couldn't get more? I understand y'all be like, Juan, look at Chase Young's injury history. I understand that he had injury problems, but you got to also understand that he's 24 years old, and he is just going to be reaching his potential and wherever he goes, honestly speaking. That's why I was more so wanting more. I didn't want more based off of what he did here. I wanted more based off of what he's going to be doing in San Francisco or wherever he may end up. Another thing that I did learn too is that this is a rental for the 49ers. Even if Chase Young balls out or doesn't ball out in San Francisco, if he leaves San Francisco, they're getting a compensatory pick for him. So that could have been another reason why you wanted to keep him, because you wanted to be the team to get that compensatory pick, but now you're not. You're going to get that right to San Francisco. But what I did hear from John Com is that I guess it's a certain amount of cap space you have to be qualified for a compensatory pick. So I guess we are over the cap space, or we're projected to have too much, so we wouldn't even qualify for a compensatory pick. I don't know how true that is, but I was just assuming we got a compensatory pick for Chase Young if you keep him and he leaves in free agency next year. And you also got to think about it like this: unless you truly think the 49ers are going to finish the season terrible, which they're not, they're going to get their groove back and they're going to be a playoff team and potentially an NFC front runner. So you know that third round pick is basically going to be a fourth round pick. So it's like you're basically getting what you would have gotten Chase Young if you would have just kept him for the remainder of the year, honestly. So that's why I really didn't like the pick, because I feel like you could have got more out of him, man. You really could have, because again, I understand he had his knee issues and he really didn't live up to what he was supposed to do in Washington. But I feel like if you can trade a 24-year-old to a team like San Francisco, you can get more than just a just a third round pick out of him. You know what I'm saying? That's why, because I already know what Chase Young's going to do. I think Chase Young's going to turn into something special, whether it's with the 49ers, whether with his second team in free agency. He's going to be good. He did not want to be here in Washington, and y'all were calling people crazy that said that. He didn't want to be here in Washington, and Washington front office didn't want him here. So it would not surprise me if his career gets rejuvenated in San Francisco, and he turns into a monster. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be playing alongside Joey Bosa, so familiar face over there, and I think Chase Young's going to be good. I really do, and I'm happy for both of them. I wish them both the best. Both of my Chase Young jerseys are now throwbacks. I probably will no longer wear Washington Commanders gear until I get somebody's currently, and I think Sam Howell's the only guy that I trust right now to get currently. Yeah, I got the Terry jersey, but Terry's already hit. Already got his jersey, but I feel like these are two players that are, were respectable, but they were never game changers. That's another reason why, like, I'm not super pissed about losing the player. I'm more so pissed about the compensation. Not pissed, but like upset at the compensation we got for Chase Young. Chase is fine, but we got to think about it like this, though, guys. A lot of people were already mad at Josh Hurst and stuff like that. I'm like, look, Josh Hurst didn't even do anything wrong. He doesn't know these guys from a can of paint, so you can't expect him to be loyal to guys that he doesn't even know, and guys that aren't even busting and grape or looking outstanding. If Chase Young would have came onto the scene, burst onto the scene this year and would have went crazy, Josh Hurst probably would have kept him. But Josh Hurst doesn't know Chase Young. He doesn't know Montez Sweat, and he's like, look, I gotta pay these guys. Nah, man, they ain't really done nothing so far since I've been here. So no, they're gone, and I'm not mad at them for that. You gotta think about it. The defense is like ranked 30, 31 with these guys. It wouldn't surprise me if we play better. If we turn around and play better with Casey Toohill, F.A. Obada, James Smith-Williams, K.J. Henry, Andre Jones Jr., it wouldn't surprise me, because then it's going to force Jack Del Rio to be creative, and that's something that he lacks. But correct me if I'm wrong, but anytime we had the backups in the game, they always seemed to play better. So this defense would not surprise me if it got better. I understand Cam Curl was upset. He was bad about it, but I would think this opens up the books to take for Cam Curl. I think Cam Curl's gonna get paid, and I think that he'll be fine after that. Again, not mad at trading these players, because again, if we look at how they performed, neither one of them performed to the expectation that we had and thought that they could perform at. But you would like to get a little bit more from Chase Young trade. Okay, you're getting a third round pick that's basically going to be a fourth round pick, because I still expect the 49ers to finish deep in the playoffs. So basically got a fourth round pick for Chase Young. Again, you couldn't get a fifth. You couldn't get a third and a fifth. And I know y'all gonna say, Juan, his knee, blah blah blah. Dude is 24 years old. I wanted more draft capital based off of his potential wherever he goes, not based off what he did in Washington. If you want to base his career or base the compensation off of what he did just in Washington solely, all right, cool. A third is fine, but you're basing it off what he's going to do elsewhere. This isn't going to be Chase Young's last pit stop. Again, like I said, he's only 24, so he's only going to get better. Now, if we look back, a couple years from now, and Chase Young has still been mid, okay, then it is what it is. I take back what I said, but right now I still think Chase Young is going to be really good, and I think he just needed a change of scenery because it just did not work out here in Washington. A lot of that was due to coach, and a lot of that was just due to him being not good. I mean, you look at what he can beat up on some poor tackles. Now, when he plays good tackles, Jordan Mailata, guard, good tackle, good guards, whatever, Jordan Mailata was pushing him up the field. He really was every single play. Chase Young is raw, and I don't want to make this seem like we just lost a star player, because let's be for real. He's only a star player to some people because he's the number 2 overall pick. Chase Young, we know if you watch this team day in and day out, Chase Young has not lived up to that pick, and he has not been a star. And you know what I'm saying? I was more so prepared to pay Tez than I was Chase Young. So, again, it's not surprising that Tez's value is higher than Chase Young's at this point, but I'm talking like future-wise. I think that you could have got a little bit more out of him, but that's just where I'm sitting at right now. That's why I'm a little frustrated with the Chase Young trade, is because I feel like you could have got a little bit more. I think you could have, but it is what it is. I'm not attached to these guys. I'm not mad that we traded these guys. Let me clear that up for the people that are going to be hard of hearing. I'm not mad that we traded Chase Young and Montez Sweat. I'm totally fine with trading them. I just feel like you could have got a little bit more for specifically, sorry about that, Chase Young. Montez Sweat, fine, but Chase Young, I thought you could have probably got a little bit more, but that's neither here nor there anymore. I'm done rambling about it. Best of luck to both of these guys. I think both of these guys are going to tear it up in their new destination. They both would not surprise me if they ended up the season with 12.5 sacks or something crazy like that. It just didn't work out here in Washington, and now Washington has some holes to fill. Now I'm looking at, I like Casey Tuhill. I like F.A. Obata, but at this point, I'm like, throw the young fellas out there. Throw K.J. Henry out there. Throw Andre Jones Jr. out there. See what they got. I mean, I know what Casey Tuhill is. You know what I'm saying? I know what James Smith-Williams is. I don't really need to see them guys, but they're going to be the starters. It's probably going to be Casey Tuhill and James Smith-Williams, but I would prefer to see the young pups just to see what they got. Maybe we got a gem in KJ Henry, somebody we could work with that could potentially be a starter next year. You know what I'm saying? Then we don't have to draft another edge rusher with one of those picks. We can potentially draft one later, but I think right now that becomes a priority. But again, like I said, under this defense with backups, we've been better. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise for this season. All right, next year when we get a new regime, defense is going to be different. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise for this defense specifically, because every time Chase Young and Montez Sweat are out of the game, we somehow play better. So maybe this is what that defense needed to turn around. Okay, get both of those guys out of there, and now they can rush together. Because you remember the biggest thing, specifically for Chase Young, but biggest thing for both of those guys was that they rushed, on their own plan. They never rushed as a unit. They just rushed by themselves. Never had no game plan. Never had no rush plan. So maybe that we're getting guys that are less athletic, less talented, that they know that they gotta rush together in order to be successful. And maybe that's what Casey Tuhill does. And honestly, I would love to re-sign Casey Tuhill. He's a good backup. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have a really good chance to show this team what he can do. I don't think Casey Tuhill is a star-studded guy, so I don't want to put him on this pedestal, but he's a good backup. And if he finishes the season with about 5, 6, 7, 8.5 sacks, you gotta resign Casey Tuhill and bring him back, because he's a good backup guy that can fulfill some snaps for your starter. So again, it's gonna be interesting to see how this defense looks moving forward. Again, not gonna surprise me at all if these guys look better without Chase Young and Montez Sweat. But with that being said, that's how I honestly feel about it. Not pissed that we moved on from him at all. Chase Young's trade is just, for me, I feel like we could have got a little bit more. But with that being said, as always, being boy Juan Gotti, like, comment, subscribe, hail to the Washington Commanders. If you guys have anything you want to say about these trades today, call 301-818-2538, and we'll be posted in a future video. Love each and every one of you guys. Please subscribe to the channel on the road to 7,000. See y'all later. I'm out. Peace.